Hello YouTube, it's Madeline Starchild again of Sister Luna Psychic Services. This is the first video in my tarot card tutorial series. But instead of calling this video number 1, we're going to call it video number 0 because we're talking about the Fool. And in the Major Arcana, you'll see he's number 0, not number 1. Which is a very clear way to indicate that he is an empty vessel. And I say he, but really the Fool is an androgynous, non-gendered character, really, because that archetype easily applies to both men and women or people of any gender identification. It's just a card of whimsy, of youthful, naive hope. When you look, you'll see in this deck he is about to topple off of this cliff. He doesn't even notice or seem to care at all, but there's a very bright sun shining in the background. There's yellow, such a happy color, and he has a little puppy there with him. That's common of different variations of the Fool. And you can see here he's kind of going on a journey. He's got a bag packed, a little hobo sack there. So he's going anywhere and everywhere. He's seeking for the next adventure that's going to build his skills and build his personality and his understanding of the world. So some key words are wander, naive, trusting, journey. There's a couple other, I said I was going to do this whole teaching series with the Rider-Waite deck, and I will be using it. But with the Fool especially, I want to show some different versions. So this version is from the Wildwood deck, and here the Fool is called the Wanderer. And instead of just stepping off of a cliff into nothing, this Fool is stepping off of a cliff onto a perfect rainbow bridge. And I find that to be such a beautiful visual to show the benefit of taking a leap of faith, of trusting the universe to take you where you need to go. There's so many times in life where we know, or we instinctively feel that what we need is, just beyond our comfort zone, and it would be a sacrifice or potentially a foolish endeavor to pursue that, and therefore our fear of being foolish prevents us. But there's a good chance, depending on the meanings of the other cards and the feeling that you have when you're turning this card over, the sense that you get. But I often read this card as a positive and as an indication of that one should take that leap of faith, should trust in the universe or in whichever deity it is that you believe in. Trust that energy to create this rainbow beneath your feet that you will be landing on. And here's the Tarot of Dreams version. This is showing the Fool in motley, dressed like a jester. And that's a very common way to see the Fool as well. And this Tarot of Dreams is an interesting deck because it's kind of bizarre. For example, the Fool here is very much shown as the empty vessel. He's not really formed. He doesn't have a body. It's just an empty clothes, it kind of looks like, right? Which is interesting. Yeah. It's when you're so young that you're just impressionable and other things can influence you and you haven't really experienced anything that's started to create and mold your long-lasting personality. And you'll see here this Fool has a kitten. Ah, and a little butterfly. How cute. And again, we see the rainbow, the same as in the Wildwood. And this card especially, I know this seems kind of almost too obvious, but this is the Tarot of Dreams, and this Fool I would read, follow your dreams. Just kind of the same moral from the other card of taking that leap of faith. We also have to remember that the Fool is the character who will then experience all of the following major arcana cards. Next time we'll talk about the Magician, and that's the Fool's journey from being an empty vessel with no real direction to becoming a powerful manifester of destiny. The Fool will learn to take control and to manifest their own desires. But here, just this card unto itself is a useful archetype to remind us to embrace our inner child, to do things for no particular reason, just because they feel good. A good way to align yourself with the Fool card, as I've done for this video, you can see here I'm kind of gestured out, whimsical look. So that's one way you can do it, through costuming or makeup. But you can also embody the Fool. A great way to get in touch with this archetype is to just go on an intention walk. So you don't have a destination. You're not, I'm going to the grocery store, going to the coffee shop. You just get dressed in appropriate weather clothing and go outside. And whichever direction you feel that you should walk, go that way. It might not make any sense. It might take you in a circle, might take you somewhere you've never been before. It might not seem like it's making sense, but that's kind of the whole idea. You know, it doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. If you feel drawn to go that way, you go that way. And that brings another aspect of the Fool to the forefront, is not caring if it makes sense to others. Not feeling the need to bother to justify your direction to someone else, which is a very powerful place to be, really, especially for being number 0 in the deck. To have that devil may care, I'm gonna do what I feel drawn to do attitude. And I would be a bad teacher if I didn't also touch on the fact that, of course, the Fool card can appear in a spread in a negative way, or negative, as more of a warning or a lesson for us to not be foolish, to consider others around us, to make sure that we are thinking about what we're going to do instead of just acting on impulse. So sometimes acting on impulse can be an enlightening, empowering experience, and sometimes acting on impulse, especially if that's an ego-driven impulse, can bring us to a place where, you know, we're presented with some new challenges and maybe some suffering. So when you're reading the Fool, you'll be considering it along with the other cards that appear in the spread. If it's coming up in with, say, the Ten of Swords or the Tower, or some kind of a card that's gonna shake things up and cause some challenges for your querent, then you might want to counsel them to, you know, be more considerate and more thoughtful and not too impulsive. But the Fool is an excellent card for us to learn from, and I highly encourage you to embody these archetypes, or to sort of do some gentle path working with them. And if anybody's watching this and you're interested in more of a full path working with these different archetypes, just leave me a comment and let me know, because I can definitely write an intentioned path working for that. So your homework is to study the image of the Fool, to just stare at it. Even do a meditation where you, an outer world meditation where your eyes are open and just viewing the card for several minutes. Also, maybe a more fun way to get in touch with the Fool, watch some comedy. Watch something silly, you know, watch Sausage Party. Do that intention walk. Yes. So, be foolish, be loving, be trusting of the forces of nature. And next time, we'll be doing the Magician. I'll be teaching you how to manifest and all about that card. As always, if you want to get in touch with me or get a reading, you can visit my Etsy site. You can hit me up on Facebook and chat, or leave a comment. Subscribe if you're interested in learning the other 77 cards of tarot. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.